I'm not used to this microphone actually having a proper mute button. I keep pressing the wrong thing. Hello, hello, good evening. Wait. That pad cannot work, and it's my own fault. My bad. Well, so hello. I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to more Ace Attorney. I forgot to open the bot. That's my fault. That's why the pad is not working. Where is it? There we go. Manual pets. Yeah, welcome back to Ace Attorney. We are still in the middle of episode 3. It's an episode, not a case. Voice activate and deactivate mute function. I mean, probably is stuff like that out there. I'm not a big fan of voice activated stuff because I don't trust those things to work ever. Like, I'd rather press a button and that actually does what it's supposed to do, and also like be a real actual button, because this microphone, it's not a full-on button in that case. It's more it's touch. It's like a very small part of the microphone that's just touch. Like what I had on the other one before was a proper button. Like you could press it, you could feel it go in a little bit, and you'd know, okay, I pressed it, it works. But this one is just touch. Like if I accidentally press the exact spot, it'll just mute me, and okay. But also if I'm just trying really quickly to mute and I don't properly hit it, it won't do it. I'm used to ursprünglich trying to mute that. Well, I mean, I could. What I did before most of the time was actually just mute straight up in OBS itself, but it's such a nitpicky thing for me, is I hate that you could obviously hear the mouse click right before it mutes, because it would pick that up still, and I hate that. It's like at the end of the stream you hear just one more mouse click and it's like, ah, now you're muted. It's probably something that only I myself as a streamer notice, and or maybe other people do notice, but it's never bothered them, but it does bother me. So I'm pressing the funny little touch screen and hope for the best. So a little stupid. Not gonna. It doesn't bother you. Well, it bothers me. We are on day 2 of our investigation, because last time we didn't stop right in between, but we got like one more talk out of there. I think I do remember who the murderer is, actually. I have a very what's the word? In my head I'm like, yeah, I think it's this person, but we're gonna have to see, because I don't remember how the entire case like went about it. However, we need to find a bunch of evidence really quickly if we want to stand in court tomorrow, because Junie's like, oh well, what if I just ask my very trustworthy teacher here to be on the stand, who employs a motto that we don't actually agree with. In the dark age of the law, and you say the end justifies the means. I don't think I like that. So let's get cracking. Oh. Is it my imagination, or did something just move? No. Continue shows with LEDs if it's muted or not, so if you find that. This one also has LEDs, but still, I just prefer a gold button to a touch screen. I hate that an actual button has become less and less frequently used. Afternoon, you two. Prosecutor Gavin, what are you doing here? Don't you think sneaking onto campus like this is just slightly suspicious? I'll have you know I'm continuing my investigation in the strictest of confidence. I don't want to be caught napping again at tomorrow's trial. And that means a thorough investigation today. Think you can lend us a hand? I'm not one to refuse a damsel in distress. Oh, come on. But you needn't have asked, Fräulein. I'd intended to help from the start. I wish Claudia was actually more relevant in the later entries. He's genuinely fun to work with. But everyone else mostly is just mean all the time. Like, haha, I'm the prosecutor. I need to win. So I'm gonna be extra mean to you. Like, okay, are we not trying to find justice here for both sides of the truth? No. Only win. You're the best, Prosecutor Gavin. Okay, time for a thorough investigation. I bet we missed a lot of stuff yesterday. Button for train tickets and such. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I totally get you. Prosecutor Gavin, you were scheduled to perform at the school festival, weren't you? That's right, but I hadn't seen the stage until yesterday. The backdrop with the starry sky and big crescent moon isn't half bad. We had said some tricks about a sleeve to make the concert really rock. Pyrotechnics, a fog machine, big banners, things like that. It would have looked like this. Yeah, you showed me this picture yesterday. The plans from yesterday. What's that design on the banner there in the back? I noticed gave the school emblem. But what's with the number 6? It looks like it's in serious pain or something. That's the Gavina's logo. Athena Ixnay on the XA. That's the Gavina's logo, Fräulein. Oh, a nice piglet in her forehead. Really smooth. Oh, I meant it looks like the number 6 rocking seriously hard. It's so funny to me that they're going, oh yeah, Athena was not in the country, so that's why she doesn't know the Gavinas, but weren't the Gavinas like a global sensation? No, Fräulein, it's a G for Gavinas, not a 6, but whatever floats your pretty boat. So, where's the banner? I don't see it anywhere on stage. It was an important part of the show, but the school managed to misplace it somehow. It's a pity. We had it specially made from heavyweight high-grade car. A missing banner and 2 broken statues. There mysteries plenty to be solved, yeah? Come to think of it, one of the broken statues was of Prosecutor Gavin. Yes, actually. As you can see here in the stage plans. Right here we have the statue of me. And right there, Mr. Wright's statue. That's had hair braids. But little does that matter now, as we both lie in pieces thanks to you. Have full head. There's always people missing the global. That's true. That's very true. But it is interesting that she's coming back and she's like the one person who doesn't know him at all. To be fair, on the other hand, she has become a lawyer at a very young age. One of the youngest, I guess. Or maybe the youngest lawyer in this series since Francisca was a prosecutor. So she didn't have time to steal property. Hey! At least I will have heard of most of them. I might have not have seen them, but I might have at least have heard of them. I'm just not a big movie watcher. What did I ever do to you? Actually, the statue broke into rather large pieces. Why don't we try to put it back together? Maybe we'll learn something new. Picking up the pieces of a shattered rockstar. Achtung, that's one uber cool idea. There might even be a song in there somewhere. Oh damn, to be even That's fair. That is fair. Speaking of watching or not watching things, though. 1 second. Speaking of watching things, Roommate and I are finally done with the Dressrosa arc of the One Piece anime. I think that is the worst pacing of an anime that I've seen in a long time. Like, the arc was okay-ish, But I'm just glad we're done with it now. Because Jesus Christ, if I have to see one more flashback and a flashback and a flashback episode of a flashback, I will scream. And I say this as a long time One Piece fan. Dressrosa was horrendous. Which is a shame. Alright. Let's say this. Schnell! Why are you also speaking German now? Is this an investigation? I'm interrupting a German language club social event. But see, Apollo, you're recognizing that it's German. That's fun. Okay. Oh. Let's see. How am I going to pick them up? That's One Piece. Haha, One Piece. Found one, a piece of prosecutor Gavin's shattered pride. Are you saying my pride is as fragile as plaster of Paris? It looks like there are other large pieces scattered about. Okay, let's find what we can. It could be an educated guess, obviously, since he knows that Clavier speaks German, but it's still funny. Is there anything else on this side? I guess this counts as part of the statue? Yeah. Another piece of the statue. Okay. It has a distinctive shape that could be described as angular. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to leave the entire thing. What about the big piece that is still standing? Does that count? I guess not. It's a cup, not the school paper. No? What about the pieces? It's more popular than you think. What's that? I thought I heard something just now. You're just hearing things. There was nothing more than your ears playing tricks on you. Says Athena with her uber hearing. Another piece of the statue. Yeah, okay. 2 large white fragments. Looks like it would feel good to break them. Athena! Okay, what about this one? Another piece of the statue. Two purple fragments. Does the big one count as a piece or no? Secret to Gavin! You're a complete wreck, literally! Why in the world would someone do something like this? I don't know, but whoever did it must have felt an amazing sense of release. Can I take that as a confession, her forehead? What? No! I feel bad for Robin. She worked so hard on Ace. Let's pick up the pieces for her. You got it. That's okay. No, the big one does not count. Okay. The more disrupting traits of the character extensions. Oh my. Are you reading or are you watching it? Because genuinely, Toei in the anime does make it worse than the manga. Watching, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it is definitely a stupid trait that is left over from a different time, I guess. But the anime does make it worse. Someone at Toei, or many people at Toei do not like Sanji. Like, I'm sorry that I am subscribed to thinking like that and saying, oh. When prosecutor's bench has taught me much about human emotion. Okay. I think that's enough. It's genuinely... It's so bad. Like, they're writing him out of scenes where he's doing good stuff. They're writing him out of fights where he's doing good stuff. Then some scenes they cannot rewrite in a way to make him look worse, so they just make him do weird stuff in the background, and you're just like, it wasn't like this in the manga. Like, yes, it's still an annoying trait in the manga. I'm not... what's the word? I'm not defending that. I think Oda has a bunch of bullshit in his story. As a One Piece fan, there's a bunch of stuff where I'm just like, yeah, okay, this is written by a misogynist man. That is just what it is. But like, God, please, someone get me out of here. Is there something up here? Can I go here? Then for a rock concert, the nighttime sky is a backdrop for a courtroom. It's breathtaking. When he crashed the moon, he sends maximum 3-day trial cycle. Oh. No thanks. It's just like, yeah. Alright. Funniest thing is, I've waited until Wano was done to catch up with the manga, and then read Wano in one go. And it's just like, oh, that was an interesting thing. It was a good arc, for sure. And I like where we're going. Like, overall, I do like it, but there's just stuff in there where you're like, yeah, okay. This show is a series that started back in the 90s. Barely in the 90s, but still in the 90s. And I'm just like, yeah, we're still tagging along with stupid jokes that have never been fun and are never going to be fun, but hey, it is a shonen magazine, so we've always done this. Why should we change it now? Anyway. I know for a fact that there's one piece up there. How do I get up there? Yes, still, yes, exactly. Exactly. And every time you say, like, oh, Oda only knows how to draw one type of woman, I always go, oh, but he does draw diverse body types. But then, have a look at when he does that. He draws diverse body types for all types of men in the story. Always, whether they be, like, on the good side, or whether they're Marines, or pirates we work together with, pirates we fight against, that kind of thing, doesn't matter. But every single woman who has a diverse body type is either shown to be ugly, old and ugly, or just straight up like the most evil caricature you have ever seen in your life. And every kind of woman that is supposed to be like pretty or on your side or just some kind of damsel in distress type is the same fucking, like, what are they called? That shape. Well, just big boobs, no waist, big hips, uber long legs, and that's it. That's not diverse. Hourglass, thank you. Yes, the hourglass types. And half of them have either Nami's face or Robin's face with some kind of different nose, and that's the most where they are different. What he can write sometimes, funnily enough, what he can write well sometimes is that he has written amazing trans representation. And I'm just like, how did you manage to do this while you're writing a bunch of everything related to the Nakama Island? I'm like, that's interesting. Interesting how you can juggle both of these at the same time, but I digress. I'm just glad I'm done with Dressrosa now. There's a very small filler arc coming, then there's a movie, and then there's gonna be Zou. Zou is the next arc that I'm at now, so I'm just hoping that one's gonna be better pacing-wise than Dressrosa, because I lost my mind trying to get through Dressrosa, like... It just doesn't cut. No. No. Anyway, last piece. 5 pieces in all. I think we have all we're going to find. Okay, let's go back to where Prosecutor Gavin was shattered. I think you might want to reword that. Nah, it's fine. Okay. Well, I don't see any other big pieces lying around. Yeah, let's see if we can put the statue back together. Alright, Apollo, you come over here and Prosecutor Gavin, if you could hold this. Well, let's see how this is gonna go. Oh, that's not too bad. You did it! Not bad if I do say so myself. Yeah, but don't you think it's strange? You put the statue back together, but look. What's with all these leftover white pieces? Oh. These look like they go together. And this one too. Athena, what do you think you're doing? Don't stop me now. The artist inside me wants to get out and have a good time. Oh. Big Justitia statue. So, what is it? It's the goddess of law holding a pair of scales in one hand and a sword in the other. That's quite the feat you pulled off there, Fräulein. I love the feeling you get after you work really hard on something. No. I know who it was. I meant to ask what it's doing here. Not sure. There's no statue like this in the stage plans. Still, I could swear I've seen this statue somewhere before. This and the statue of Clavio were broken at the same time, but have been repaired. No one knows where it came from. It is pretty. The more we learn, the deeper the rabbit hole goes. At least we're moving in the right direction. Let's keep searching the stage for clues. I've been wondering about something this whole time. You know that pole at the edge of the stage? You mean this? It has a wire that goes off and connects to something somewhere. Yeah, I think most of this case is coming back to me. This wire is for hanging banners over the stage. One of the policemen who was here earlier was checking how it worked. Oh, so that's why the banner looks like it's out of place. The banners are hung and removed from the art room over there. That's the art room over there, as in the scene of the crime. Bingo, Fräulein. It's still crawling with cops, though. Hey, anyone in the art room? Oh my god. Oh, it's you people. Injustice, which I wish he would stop saying this every time he shows up. Detective Fulbright. The injustice we trust. Is that some kind of a greeting between you two? Detective Fulbright, can you lower that banner from there? Of course. Just leave it to me. Thank you. How's that? Thanks, Detective. It's just as we trust. Always got to help. I'm not going to read it out anymore. I swear to God. Is that some kind of greeting between you two or not? Don't worry about it. Well, looks like the banner's down now. Let's go take a look. Oh yeah. Jump. I like how we don't bother putting Phoenix back together, apparently. Look at this banner. I don't think it would flap very well in the wind. An unflappable banner. Hey, I like that. It goes perfect with unflappable lawyers and unflappable rockers. Like it was made for this very stage. Look at this. The bottom part is all knotted up. Let me try and unravel it. Jeez, did you really have to? You don't come across an unflappable banner every day. Athena, there are some things that have to yield to forces beyond themselves. What a cruel world we live in. Yeah, a scrap of paper was caught up inside. It's blowing away. I got it. Great catch, huh? October. Hugh. 120. Looks like some kind of note. What does it say? October Hugh 120. What's that supposed to mean? Test score maybe. Pretty impressive when you consider the 100 as a perfect score. I don't see how even Hugh can get beyond perfect. Fräulein, shall we inspect the banner again now that it has been unraveled? Yes. Hugh's grab. Discovered on stage, it appears to be a piece of paper torn from a notebook. The name Hugh is written on it. How many people do you think have the same basic notebook? Sometimes I think these games think we're stupid. This is the emblem that's in Junie's school uniform. Yeah, you're right. Wait a sec. It's hard to see against the red material, but look. There's a dark red stain here just under the emblem. This banner was on a wire connected to the art room. Right, and the art room is where the murder occurred. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? The stain might be from the victim's blood. The large banner that was hung by a wire between the stage and art room, a trace amount of blood was found on it. Ooh. The statue doesn't look anything like you or Mr. Wright. The goddess bearing scales and a sword. She's a symbol of fairness and strength. The chain of symbols were shattered along with the statues of you and Mr. Wright. It's a direct challenge to the rule of law. Well, if they want to fight, they've got one. Oh, take it down a notch, Tiger. Let's save the fighting for when we find our culprit. Every time there's a notice, some extremely obvious thing that's missed about it, and there's a part clearly missing, something you could read. Yes, yes, yes. And it doesn't make sense, because all of these people are somewhere in the field of law, like lawyers, prosecutors, judges, whatever. They're clearly not stupid. Yes, to a comedic effect and extent, what you do in the courtroom doesn't take itself too seriously. But sometimes they take it too far, where you're like, wow, geez, a piece of paper that has a very obvious sign, like printed on it, that we've seen with the person who ended up dead. Sorry, with a dead body. With the same handwriting? Especially because it's like, oh, there's blood on this banner? Well, we should get that checked out. Try and see if we can figure out whose blood it is. We have the technology for that. At this point, these games are written at a point in time where they have this technology. Not with the very first games that were written back when we didn't have like mobile phones in that sense. Like smartphones. We did have mobile phones, but not smartphones. But this game has a bunch of stuff where it's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. We have weird technology where we can just like Athena's whole thing here, where she can just give people some weird therapy session in the middle of it. We have Apollo's, oh, I can feel when people are getting nervous type of thing. We have the Magatama with Phoenix, and you're telling me these people find a trace of blood on near the crime scene, and no one's like, oh yeah, let's check whose blood this could be. They find a piece of paper with a very distinct print when they've already have a whole notebook that they found with the body, which is the same fucking print. They and you're like, yeah. Gee, I wonder when this will become relevant in the trial. Open your eyes! There. There's a whole lot of poking around in such a short time. Does that mean you're satisfied? Actually, there was one more thing I wanted to check out. Oh? See that metal fence back there? It's just that one segment, so it seems out of place. It looks like they were in the process of removing them after the stage was set up. But they were never able to finish on account of the murder. Murder. You should take a look if you think it could be important. This truck looks man-made. Yeah, right, and it looks like it starts from behind the backdrop. Maybe a big muddy pro wrestler was hiding back there. Well, that was totally random, but we'll never know until we take a look. So it looks like something was being dragged through here, and this is where it started. Yeah, but whatever it was, it's long gone. Must have been pretty heavy. Perhaps it was used in setting up the school festival. Then I guess it wasn't a pro wrestler. Still, this could be something important. Why do you want it to be a professor? Well, that's about it for the stage. Right, I think we better search the art room next. I think I hang around here for a while, but make sure to tell me once you find it, yeah? Find what? What else? The governor's banner that disappeared from the stage. You never know, it just might be connected to the case at hand. Really? Or does he just want his banner back? Don't tell me. So, in short, that's... Hey. The entry scuttled away. The box. It just took off running. I have a pretty good idea who that is, as I suspect you do too. Come on, we can't afford to have any weird articles written about us. The maintenance area is over in that direction, after the box. I mean, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that there could be several boxes who look the exact same around, but like, we already know that someone is hiding in a box the entire time, and you didn't find the box suspicious the first time. Really? Miriam, you're liable to get tossed in a garbage truck if you hang around here. Just an empty box, and that's what you do with them. You throw them away. Oh no, I guess you do have a different one. Never mind, my bad. Wipe the past clean with crime cleaner. Get sparkling clean with brute force. Okay. Did you change boxes? I like the new look. That doesn't matter anymore. I was a complete failure in court today. My work, my pride, my dreams, everything I worked so hard for, gone. Well... It's funny because I think her design is very cute without the box. Come to think of it, calling her failure as a reporter might have been a bit extreme. Nah. Scold me, despise me, pack me away wherever I'll never see the light of day. I've been cast aside to waste away into a big pile of mushy paper mache. Kind of feel responsible for this, but now's a chance to prod her for information while she's vulnerable. I bet that's what you were just thinking. What kind of a person do you think I am? He read me like a book. Well, he wasn't wrong. That was you on the stage earlier, wasn't it? Why'd you run off like that? Take a look at this. Why are you showing me a burned-up old rag? Wait, it's really hard to see, but I think that's the Governor's logo there. Thank you. Thank you. So it's just the banner that disappeared. It's all burned up. Thank you. Don't look at me. I just happened to find it in the incinerator. Thank you. Incinerator? Did Black Hole actually make good on this threat to burn a box? We should probably try to find out whether someone tried to destroy this on purpose. Yeah, this banner is sounding less and less unrelated to our case, Apollo. Miriam, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have said you were a failure as a reporter. Too late. I already decided journalism isn't for me. The last step is to erase all of the photos on my PC. I'm really going to do it. Here goes. 5%. 10%. 4 years of my life down the drain. Shouldn't we stop, Athena? Miriam, you should keep publishing your paper. I didn't mean what I said, okay? You didn't mean it? Oh no, my photo! Stop! Cancel! To be fair, she doesn't seem to have the fastest computer in the world. Stop it in time. Deletion progress, 99% complete. There are only 2 pictures left. Oh no! What are you going to do now, Athena? You owe it to her to make this right. I know. Well, show me those pictures. Don't worry, Miriam. Your photos may be gone, but the memory of your photographic genius will live on forever in all of our hearts. Athena, that was cringeworthy. Hey, Miriam, check this out. You took some amazing photos of the three of them. I'm sure they really appreciated it. Obviously, I'm the ace member of the newspaper club, the only member, in fact. I know this won't make up for the photos you lost, but here your newspaper's back. Oh, alright. Guess we don't need those anymore. There's no rest for the wicked. I plan on pursuing those three for as long as I live. Miriam, why are you so obsessed with Juniper, Hugh, and Robin? Obsessed? I'm not obsessed with them. It's just, they were so close ever since the freshman year. So, well... Athena, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, I think that's the only explanation. Wait a second, you're not thinking what I think you're thinking. That's exactly what he's thinking, Miriam. You want in on a little trio. How could you possibly know that? Oh. Well, pretty obvious. That's Wannabe's laptop. My laptop won't turn on. Never thought my life would end so soon. I'm here 17 years. Now I really feel bad. Oh, I know. Miriam, we have a laptop at the office. We'd be happy to lend it to you. Would we? You have a laptop I could use? Sure, but on one condition. I want you to ask Junie, Hugh, and Robin if you can hang out with them. Wait, like I could ever do that? Sorry, but that's the deal if you want to borrow our laptop. You scare me sometimes, Athena. You're like good cop, bad cop all rolled into one. Fine, I'll do it. If that's all you want. Hey, I'll be by later to bring you the laptop. Wait, it's not like I owe you anything, but here. Oh. The pictures! Thanks. Oh, it's a set of pictures. Looks like they're setting up a stage. Ah. When was this? 6:03, okay. Yeah, take them when we're putting the stage's backdrop into place, and 6:01. Oh, you sure have an eye for photography. From what I can make out, anyway. You said the last two photos that didn't get deleted. They're all yours. You probably need those at some point. Well, see you around, scary lawyer lady. Scary lawyer lady. You guys are almost the same age. That was really impressive, Athena. What's next? Well, I'd like to talk to Hugh or Robin if possible. Okay, let's walk around and see if we can find them. Wait, hold on. He did ask me to show him if we do find it. I think I found it. Why are you carrying a pseudo mass of fabric around? Yeah, about that. This is kind of hard to say, but... This is the banner you've been looking for. It was found in the incinerator. What? This ash and cinder? That's all that's left. Somehow I don't think this was a random act of vandalism. Yeah, no doubt there's some relation to the case at hand. In short, this is a challenge directed at me and Gavinus fans everywhere. Mark my words, Fräulein, I will find the perpetrator behind this crime. Okay, thanks. Does he mean whoever burned the flag? Or the professor's killer? I'll just cross my fingers that they're one and the same. Alright. I guess you don't necessarily need to show him. Okay, who's up here? Hey, that's Hugh over there. Easy enough. Hugh, we wanted a word with you if you don't mind. If it was Mr. Right, then sure, but you too? Nah. I knew it. There's a hint of discord in Hugh's voice. You're not getting off that easy. After all, you're a possible suspect, plus you actually confessed in court. Whatever. So what do you want from me? But make it brief. I don't have a lot of time, and I assume you don't either. He's so... Everyone involved in this case is so... About your confession today, you weren't serious about that, were you? Let's just say I had no choice thanks to a certain lawyer who failed to get the job done. So you're really prepared to take the blame for this? Not gonna happen. The voice on the tape is female, so that rules me out. Let's put it this way, you don't actually believe that ridiculous play on words, do you? Well, my confession is just like that, a means to an end, or as we say around here. The end justifies the means. Yeah, I actually do believe the voice is scouting Hugh O'Connor. Juniper's confession was quite advantageous for the real killer. But if Robin or I were actually the killer, we wouldn't have confessed. It's that simple. Even you should be capable of such reasoning, or have I overestimated you? You make a great lawyer someday. I mean, you seem to enjoy getting under people's skin. But Hugh and Robin's confession really prove their innocence instead of their guilt. It's going to take some serious thinking on my part. It sure looked like Prosecutor Blackwell was twisting your arm to testify earlier today. Is there some sort of secret he's using against you? Yes, we were there, game. Thank you for the flashback. You really are a rank amateur. Even if that were true, you think I'd open up to you. So he's not denying it. Secret might be causing a discord in his voice. Then again, we have the same problem with Junie and Robin. You're just wasting your time and mine. Next question. Oh, okay. About that meeting with Professor Cord on the 23rd, why did she want to see you? I have no intention of telling you. You have to force it out of me. Any way you can. Professor Main strikes again. Then again, Hugh is in a lawyer course. Then Professor Cord used to say that the only good result is the truth? So why didn't you drop this whole charade and just tell me the truth? The truth? How can you be so sure it will help you solve this case? Truth isn't necessarily your friend, nor Juniper's for that matter. No, you're wrong. I don't care what anyone says, I'm going to defend Junie the right way, using the truth. It's the only way to honor Junie's wish and Professor Cord's memory. I see. Very well, Miss Sykes. I'll testify tomorrow about the truth that you're so interested in. Oh. But I'm gonna be all smug about it. Don't look to me if something happens to Juniper because of it. Understand? What's that supposed to mean? What a terrible thing to say. I thought you guys were friends. Yes, we were. Until just recently, actually. Were? I already told Juniper, so might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. What? Why? Just as I have my secrets, she has a side you've never seen. Juniper's not all sunshine and rainbows like you think she is. What are you saying? This conversation is over. I said I don't have a lot of time and I meant it. What? Hugh, wait. He's gone. He doesn't care about her anymore? Why would he say that? Because he's an asshole. That didn't go so well. I guess we'll just have to pin our hopes on his testimony tomorrow. Athena, what do you say we head over to the yacht room? Might be a nice change of pace. Hopefully the police have completed their investigation. Alright. We don't really have much time left anyway. Ah, the yacht room, the yacht room. Oh, why is it if it isn't my little lawyer friends again? Thanks again for lowering that school banner for us earlier. Don't mention it. Helping those in need is what my brand of justice is all about. Right. So the yacht room was where the murder actually occurred? That's right. You can't see it with the naked eye, but there's blood on the floor. The area roped off in the middle of the room marks the spot. Police investigation is done, so if you want to look around, knock yourselves out. Oh, that's surprisingly nice, thank you. Find anything new, Detective Fulbright? Good question. Unfortunately, the answer's nothing much yet. He sure is confident for having found nothing. But if we're talking outside of the art room, there has been a major breakthrough. Dear, unless I find out what that is, I don't know what I shall do. No need for the theatrics. I was told I could fill you in on this one. Oh, you saw right through me, detective. I'm impressed. It's because you're not a good actor, Athena. Going to get arrested for murder via unwarranted flattery, are we? Okay. So, what's the major breakthrough you mentioned? You want to know? You really want to know? You really? Come on, just tell us already. Aw, you're no fun. Anywho, we got the results of the voice print analysis back. Voice print? You mean for this tape recorder? Exactly. The voice belongs to the suspect, Miss Woods, beyond a shadow of doubt. Damn it. See right here? They analyzed the voice on the tape inside and out. Show me. Issue. Does the voice shouting "You're gonna" belong to Juniper Woods? Result: the voice is a perfect match. Note 1. Testing is underway regarding signs of post-recording editing. Note 2. The tape has about 10 minutes and 35 seconds of noise requiring further testing. 10 minutes? Okay. And you thought the voice in the tape was saying Hugh O'Connor. Thanks for the good laugh, Miss Sykes. He's the last person I want laughing at me. So now there's evidence of Juniper shouting "You're gonna" around the time of death. If we were to take this as truth, how are we supposed to make sense of it? I don't know. I can't think of any reason why Junie would shout that in the first place. Okay. Well, let me look at the room then. We need to check this clock. This is the clock that created a major problem for Junie. Let's take a closer look. Don't waste your time. I've checked it, and it's 100% accurate. You sure? How do you check it? Of course I'm sure. I compared it to my own watch, see? Detective Fulbright, didn't you notice that your watch had stopped? It has. Ah. This is unacceptable. We obviously can't rely on him. Let's take a look for ourselves. Let's see. Wait a second. It's ahead by 1 whole hour. Well, Detective? Nah. But... This clock must have also been an hour ahead when his photo was taken. If so, that would fit perfectly with Junie's testimony. Prosecutor Blackwell won't like this. I almost feel sorry for the detective. Almost. You can at least pretend to feel sorry by wiping a big grin off your face. I don't feel sorry for this man. Ever. Oh, wait just 1 minute. The clock is an hour ahead right now, sure. What proof do you have that it was running ahead on the day of the crime? That's a good question. I think I just might have something. Detective Fulbright, you would agree that there's a moon outside this window, right? Sure, a nice crescent one, like something out of a picture book. But if you look at the window in the back with the winch attached to it, you see that the only view to be had is the opposite side of the school building. Then what's this moon doing here? I wonder... Surely not the backdrop that was pulled to the stage. Surely not. Isn't this the same as the one painted on the stage backdrop? We're sorry to hear, Detective. This shows it was 6 PM when the photo was taken. I know what this moon really is. And if you look at this photo, you know too. It shows where the moon in the photo came from and the truth of Junie's testimony. What? Where? Where does it show that? If you look right here, it will become crystal clear. They were still prepping the stage, so its backdrop wasn't in place yet. This photo shows them in the process of moving the backdrop into position. I can see that. There's a big board hanging here. The size matches too. The question whether the time on the clock shows AM or PM, it's an analog clock. Those things are yes! Yes. They were like, oh no, it clearly had to be 6 PM because you can see the moon, and I'm just like... You can see the moon this clearly at 6 PM? Are you sure? But there's no picture. That's a crucial detail. It is, but I believe what we're seeing in this photo is the back of the board. Back of the... That's right, and at around 6 PM when this was taken, a photo of that same board was being taken from the front. What do you mean the front? The front is against the wall. That's where you're wrong. What about the window? Remember how we said the moon shouldn't even exist in this photo? Take a good look. Are you suggesting the moon is the one in the backdrop? Yes. Exactly. In short, this photo was taken while the backdrop was being moved. And as you can see here, it was around 6 when the backdrop was being set in place. Who even took the picture, which, like, of the professor and Junie, though? That's what I'd like to know. So the atrium clock was running fast, at least as far back as the day of the murder. Can I have a face Prosecutor Blackwell now? Well, with your head down low so he cannot strangle you further, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Yes! I just blew a hole in a piece of the prosecution's evidence! Yippee! Okay. What about this one? A mock trial script on the floor nearby an envelope marked Use. I wonder if Miriam's script was ever really inside that envelope. Let's see here. By Miriam Scuttlebutt. And the title is Rouge et Noir, Crimson Blood and Dark Judgment. Okay. I wouldn't take part in the mock trial if she begged me. It says there's special rules allowing the payment of bribes while court is adjourned. Oh, and you can bring in up to $3 worth of fabricated evidence. It also says, welcome to the darkest mock trial ever, where the end justifies the means. Prosecution claims this is the script that was supposed to have been used. But the scripts were selected by Professor Court. Considering how much she valued the truth, I seriously doubt she'd pick a script entitled Crimson Blood and Dark Judgment. Yeah... Something tells me... Wow, you have the title memorized already? What's all this then? Look, a piece of pottery. Looks like it's already been fired. I bet Robin made it. And I bet it won't last long, not with the way she deals with her own work anyways. Yeah, it seems like such a waste. I mean, this one already has some color on it. It looks just like bloodstains the way the glaze was dribbled onto it. Just like bloodstains. Yeah, duh! Just as we trust, it does look like bloodstains. You better examine it at once. Why haven't you examined it already? What does this guy do the entire time, aside from shouting, "In justice we trust"? You quit your job. True. I get it. The victim was stabbed in the middle of the room where the big bloodstain is. And then brought over here, at which point some of the blood dripped onto these pieces. That means the body very well could have been dropped from this window. In the mock trial script, the body was dropped onto a mat. Then a bowl cart was used to move it over to the stage. The maintenance area is below this room, and the stores there has a mat and bowl cart. But you wouldn't need all that. You could just hang it on a rope. I know I'm covering it, but the pulley thing for the banners is right behind me. You could just roll the body in something and get it down there. You don't need to pull an entire cart. Even the moving of the body was carried out just like in the script. Was it? I'm gonna show it a thing for Junie's script. But what did you expect? That's why we suspected the defendant in the first place. Well, you're wrong, and I'm going to prove it in court. Like, why make it so much trouble for yourself by dropping the body here when you could have just dropped the body here on that thing? Or lowered it down, I guess. Not dropped, lowered it down. What's this? Hey, it's gone. Remember that strange statue in the school camera photo? You're right. Wonder where it is. Roman's a member of the Fine Arts Club. Maybe she could shed some light on this. Okay. Maybe. Some wire and a winch, so this is how they reel the banners in and out. It's a nice view of the stage from here. Prosecutor Gavin is still standing in front of that broken statue. So it really wasn't you, Apollo? Don't worry, you can tell me. I won't tell anyone. I'll never clear my name unless we catch the real culprit. Well, I think we've examined pretty much everything we can. By the way, did Prosecutor Blackwell happen to tell you anything about tomorrow's trial? It's no use trying to pry more information out of me. Having just learned that the clock had been out 1 hour fast. Means we're back to square one, considering the suspect's actions that day. Good job, you. I wonder what the main argument will be about now. How the body was moved would be my guess, but Prosecutor Blackwell's got his own plans. Oh? Does he now? Detective Fulbright. Try as you might, I won't say another word about the investigation. No, I wasn't there to ask about that. I was just wondering if you'd seen Robin. Oh, you mean it was Robin Newman? She was just here a moment ago. And she mumbled something about watching videos in a lecture hall. Video? That's a good question. Thanks, Detective. Athena, I think we should stop by the lecture hall. Right, let's go. Let's go. Move. Lecture hall. Oh, Robin! There she is, Robin! Hey, Robin! Athena, Apollo. Hi. What are you watching there? Oh, it just so happens to be a video of the mock trial. I had to use a bit of coercion to get it, but the end justifies the means, right? Not you two. There it is again. Professor Means sure has a lot of influence around here. Care to look into the true connection between the murder and the mock trial with me? Sounds great, but do you mind if we ask you some questions first? Sure, I'll tell you anything you want to eat. About your confession today, why'd you do it? Because Juniper hasn't done anything wrong. I had to stop the trial by any means possible. Right, the end justifies the means? So you'll follow Professor Means too. Professor Means is a wonderful teacher, as was Professor Court. I like them both. You brushed that one off like a pro. But with that sort of justice, you run the risk of breaking the law. Well, I'm prepared to quit school because of this case. What? Why? I want to be an artist. That's what I really want, man. No, my parents forced me to study to become a prosecutor. But if the trial went south, you'd have to drop out and give up on being a prosecutor. That's what you're really after, isn't it? Talk about someone who literally changes at the bell of an eyelash. I guess she's been dealing with her own problems too. That totally makes sense. Yeah, I suppose so, but that doesn't make what she did right. Could you tell us about what you were doing on the night of the murder? Finishing a statue. I was on the stage until the last bell. That's right, you made the statues of Mr. Wright and Prosecutor Gavin, didn't you? Yes. Yes, I did. Both of them. Why are you... What are you lying about? This is just a formality, but can you prove you were making the statues at the time? Can I prove it? You think I'm the killer now? No, that's not what I meant. Both you and Robin were still at school after 7 PM, but neither of them can prove exactly what they were doing. Hugh in this one looks like a Danganronpa character. And mostly it is the ahoge he's going on in that specific CG. It's so funny. One of them really have murdered Professor Court. There's a lot of people here who could have murdered Professor Court. The longer this is going on, I feel like. Have there been any problems now that everyone here knows you're a girl? Hehe, no worries there. I discussed the matter with Professor Court some time ago. So thank you for the resub, Flo. Enjoy your emotes. Again. Told her I wanted to let everyone know I was really a girl. And just today I found out that she spoke with the school administration on my behalf. Oh, they must really like you. I know, right? But now I can finally be myself here at school. I don't have to hide the fact that I love girly clothes. Okay, good for you. That's why, Athena, I simply must have this and this by any means possible. What? But this is evidence we need for the trial. Sorry, but no can do. Aw, don't be a party pooper, Athena. Come on, please. Pretty please. Stage costume related evidence taken in classic and justifies the mean stuff. Oh, darn it. Anyway, thank you again, Athena. Thank you for revealing who I really am. I wanted everyone to know before the snitch found out. The snitch? Sounds like a new lead. The snitch? There's a rumor going around that one of the students here is a snitch. I hear they're watching everything we do. Our activities, our relationships, our interests. And reporting it all to one of the professors. But why would anyone do that? Officially, I heard it's to seek out misconduct among the student body. But rumor has it grades were being bought and sold through the surveillance network. That's bribery. The situation at Themis Legal Academy is worse than I thought. While all of this is important stuff, I still want to ask about that thing in the art room. I have to present some evidence to show her what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. Blood, sweat, and tears in a pile of rubble right there. Why not make the statues again? I'm sure the two of them would be delighted. Yeah, I could totally do that. And this time, I'm gonna make them even more realistic by making full body molds of my oh. Full body molds? Are you sure that's safe? How about plain old measurements? Oh, Athena, measurements are for whims. Full on YOLO is what your art's all about. Huh? I'm gonna drop both of them in a big pool of plaster, yeah! I know I should stop you, but some part of me really wants to see how this plays out. Okay. Robin, I just remembered something I wanted to ask you. This photo shows a piece of art on the table. Do you know what it is? What? Oh! Look at the unique artistic sense. That has to be one of Professor Court's creations, man. Professor Court's artistic sense. Professor Court's artistic sense? That's a tough one. I'd say it's avant-garde and very eclectic. In other words, it's weird and all over the place. Damn, Athena. Not a fan of modern art. And I think of it, that strange-looking painting in the art room was one of Professor Court's works, wasn't it? Such in a photo was originally a statue of Lady Justice. Lady Justice? Professor Court had planned on placing it on a judge's bench in a lecture hall. But the day before the mock trial, it broke while she was polishing it. She said she'd take it back to the art room and try to fix it somehow. So this is the statue in its proper state? You bet. Just look at that wild silhouette. It's so cute. I don't get it. Do you have to be an artist to appreciate stuff like this? I think the funniest part here is actually that Athena managed to put it back together in a completely different way that looks more normal. Athena, the Lady Justice that you put back together on that stage. Oh, right. I didn't realize before because it was in pieces, but before it was smashed, maybe it didn't look like Lady Justice, but more like it does in the photo. But what in the world was it doing on the stage? It was unbroken on stage. Professor Court had remade it to a completely different looking statue the day before the mock trial. Ah, oh, okay. So wait, it was originally supposed to look like Athena made it look, but then it broke, so she put it back together in a different way. But then it broke again, and now she's normal, I guess? Okay, who cares? Well, I think that about covers it. Okay, then how about watching the mock trial video with me? What do you say? Sure, sounds good to me. So, how do you want to watch it? All classroom desks at the school have their own built-in computer, you know? Wow, this place is definitely a lot cushier than I thought. Why doesn't Miriam just use one of these then? Well, congratulations, you gain nothing. You actually lose one singular point. I know you guys are in a hurry, so I'll just fast forward to the important parts. Let's start with the professor's pre-trial speech. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. Oh, that sounds like what Professor means. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. Is the camera like this the whole time? Yeah, it's in a fixed position in front of the stage. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for the day to come. Ends on a 5 again. I see. How come teacher's speeches always make me so sleepy? Let's just skip to the end of his speech. Me too, though, Apollo. Now let the mock trial begin. Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Junie so large in the shot? Looks to me like she cut right in front of the camera. Juniper's also in charge of the audio, even though she was already playing a part in the mock trial itself. She had to do it to keep the script details secret. She was all over the place that day. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music. Oh, so this is what the lecture hall looks like. Looks like there's a judge's bench back by the screen and the witness stand up front. What about those balconies with the professors' names on them? Those are the faculty seats. Professor Means and Professor Code were in charge of scoring the mock trial. A diagram of the lecture hall when the mock trial took place. Okay, thank you. Good to have. Okay, let's fast forward this a bit. And that's why the defendant is definitely guilty. That was me, could you tell? Objection. A fairy code used her bare hands to step a professor with an arrow? I don't think so. You read that line in the mock trial, Apollo, but you made it sound kind of weird. He's some slack. It was my first time reading that script. I think Juniper's going to speak next. I didn't do it. I had suffered a breakdown and pretty much lost it. It's true I shouted, "You're a goner," but I didn't mean it. Oh, what an emotional performance. She put a real actress to shame. Wait, could you go back and play that scene again? You really think that's necessary? Well, yeah. She just said exactly what we needed. It's true I shouted, "You're a goner," but I didn't mean it. Did you hear that? I think you're onto something. Let's play the last part again. Oh my god, game. I don't follow. What are you guys so excited about? I think this piece of evidence should explain it. I'm sure Robin, a piece of evidence that thinks the line we just heard to the case.
Take that!
I'm sure I remember this. It contains a female voice shouting a violent threat. I play it for you. You're gonna. The voices and performance do sound similar, but I can't believe this is happening. Just a possibility, but if the voice on this tape is really a recording, one made from the mock trial video, then that means this evidence was fabricated. I didn't get to do a voice print analysis in time for court today. That's why the gender of the voice became so important. And if the real killer had foreseen that gender would become key in today's trial, he would have tried to deflect any attention away from himself by making the suspect female. So, basically, the only one with something to gain from doing this is our sole male suspect. Wait a second. No way! No way! Person means creator is the end justifies the means. So it makes perfect sense that the student who took those words to heart would fabricate evidence. We need to get that tape analyzed as soon as possible. The voice on tape says you're gone, and just like in Junie's script, it may be a fake. Allow me to assist you with that. Hey! Prosecutor Gavin, at least make some kind of noise so we know you're there. when his background music is this fucking guitar thing every single time. I think he makes enough noise wherever he's going. It's go big or go home with a rockstar entrance as well. Timing is everything. Let me make a copy of the tape right now and I'll get you the results as soon as I can. I trust that would be alright. Very much so, thanks. Bye. Well, Athena, it's almost sundown. Isn't it about time we head over to the detention center? I think Junie will agree that this is something that could prove her innocence, but will her heart really be open to accepting it? She had to have known this was what I'd find. Oh, we're running out of time otherwise. And that about covers the main gist of our investigation. I see. Very interesting. You've been quite a busy beaver today. Thank you? Thank you for all your hard work, Athena. Well, my time's about up, and it will be getting dark soon, so... Junie, you must be tired after being on your feet all day. You should go home and... Oh, wait, you have to listen to me. I don't want to hear anymore. I know what you're going to say, Athena. Junie, you promised. This game is very fond of its flashbacks, isn't it? Or maybe I've just grown really resenting of flashbacks in general. So please just listen to what I have to say. Once you've heard me out, I'll let you decide what to do. The voice in this recording has been proven to be yours, Junie. And in the mock trial video, we can hear you reading your line from the script. We're having both of them analyzed now, but from what I can tell, the voices are the same. And the only one who'd benefit from faking the voice recording would be you. But that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you confessed in order to protect me. This may sound strange, but his confession is a ploy to make himself look less suspicious. In other words, he was just pretending to protect you. Besides, his confession came after you and Robin had already confessed. If he hadn't confessed right then as well, wouldn't that have seemed a little suspicious? Say what you will, Athena, but none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. He was a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble. Are you sure? Wait, Athena. My bracelet reacted just now. It did? But why? Junie, can you look me in the eye and repeat what you just said? Oh, none of us would hurt a fly, let alone kill someone. He was a gifted student. He gets outstanding grades and never causes trouble. You're not looking her in the eye. You have your eyes closed. Closed. No, I'm sure of it. She's lying. Oh. Oh my god, the mouth looks very weird when it's this slow.
Gotcha!
Juniper, you start coughing when you're under stress. You can't hide it from me no matter how hard you try. When you said it never causes trouble, a cough escaped and made your scarf flutter. As for why you were stressed, it's because you were lying. Junie, you're trying to hide Hugh's connection to this case, aren't you? And I believe that also ties into a secret about yourself. A secret? About me? I don't understand. He ended the friendship after he found out about Junie's secret. Which means you must have felt betrayed by Junie, making her a snitch. You were Professor Court's snitch, weren't you? We literally just saw that game. I don't need a flashback for it, thank you. And while fulfilling that role, you learned something about Hugh you'd rather forget. I don't know what you're talking about. Junie, please, stop hiding things from me. I hate having to force things out of you like this. Looks like we're going to have to do this the hard way. Tend to review the evidence and see if I can prove my hypothesis. I must have something that proves Junie's a snitch and Hugh's connection to the case. Sure, you do.
Take that!
Right here in Professor Court's plan it says routine report. I believe this is meant to mean when the snitch would report into Professor Court. I also believe Professor Court planned to meet Hugh in private based on the snitch's info. And from their meetings, Hugh must have put 2 and 2 together and figured out Hugh's secret. So you see, it all makes sense only if you're the snitch, Junie. Oh no! Don't cry. Forgive me. Oh, I've been lying to you this whole time. The truth is, I suspected Hugh from the start. You did? Oh, this is surprising. I'm so sorry. I've talked about friendship so much, but I've been a terrible friend. Juniper, I don't have that special kind of hearing that Athena does, but I don't need it to sense the pain you're feeling inside. Its intensity is directly proportional to how you feel about your friend. Am I right? Please, Junie, tell me why you suspected Hugh. I have a feeling that will be the key to getting to the bottom of this whole case. What exactly was your role as class snitch? Professor Court had told me how Academy alumni had strayed from the path of justice. The dark age of the law, huh? She didn't want any more of our students going astray like that. A few others at the Academy shared her view. I thought her ideas were beautiful, though sad and unrealistic. She asked you to be her eyes and ears, didn't she? I used to report to her once a month about any wrongdoings I'd seen or heard about. And that report session in her planner, the one from October 22nd, was a part of that? Yes, and that's when I reported Hugh to Professor Court. He snitched on her own friend. Well, what did he do? I'd accidentally overheard Hugh talking. What did you hear? He was talking to someone on the phone. I think it was one of his parents. What were they talking about? Something about having paid money for good test scores. I only ever heard him talking, so I never did find out who the money was going to. What? That's bribery. He was buying his way through school, and if that's the case, then that evidence that always seemed out of place might actually be about his secret.
Take that!
We found this while we were investigating the stage. It's got Hugh's name on it. I didn't know what the number meant at the time, but now that I'm hearing about bribes, it must mean that a bribe of 120 grand was to be paid in October. How do you get 120 grand out of just 120? Like, okay, sure, yes, obviously you probably couldn't buy your way through an exclusive school like this with just $120, but how do you go from seeing 120 written down to 120 grand? What's more, take a look at this mark. The same mark as on the pages of Professor Court's pen. Wow! No shit, Sherlock. You just realized that now. Amazing. Hey, you're right. Wait, but why would Professor Court have that kind of information in her planner? You don't really think the person who was taking the bribe money was... It's just a possibility at this point, but it may indeed have been Professor Court. Well, I highly doubt that. If this is how they're connected, but okay. But... that is impossible. She'd be the last person I'd ever suspect of accepting bribes. Yeah. I suspect you of taking bribes every day, though. Like I said, it's just a possibility, but a rather good one. Maybe the private talk had to do with the possibility of the bribery being exposed. And what started out as a little argument soon got out of hand. It's not your fault, Junie. Anybody would have suspected you if they knew what you knew. No, I don't believe that alone would have driven him to murder. There's another reason why I suspected you. You got to be kidding me. There's another reason? What else is there? I saw Hugh around 7 PM the day before the mock trial. Oh, so she's finally ready to talk about that. When I saw him, his... Athena... Junie, are you alright? Just try to relax and tell me what happened. Nope.
I never wanted to see what I did.
Oh.
But I'll have to live with it, won't I? In that hallway, Hugh's hands... His hands were dripping with blood.
Interesting. But why? What am I going to do? Deep down I know Hugh can't be the killer. But my mind keeps telling me he is, no matter how I try to convince myself he isn't. Maybe it was just paint. What am I going to do? Maybe it's just paint, calm down. I can't take this anymore, Tina. So she hid the fact that she had seen Hugh and said she went home at 6 because she wanted to avoid talking about what she saw. Junie, it must have been terrible holding all of that in. But it's going to be okay. I'll get to the bottom of this. And that's my promise from one good friend to another. I'll be defending Juniper tomorrow. If that's okay with you, Professor Means. My main concern is whether you can defeat the prosecutor. But I won't try to stop you. I will be watching from the gallery. And shall look forward to seeing what sort of results your methods can produce. Good luck tomorrow. No, if you would excuse me. No, I'm sorry. I really mean it. I wish I had trusted you from the start. You have to uncover the truth tomorrow. I know you can do it. Don't worry, we already know that the prosecution's key piece of evidence is a fake. And thanks to you, we figured out the motive too. This gift is our best shot, Athena. Let tomorrow be the day Juniper walks free. I wouldn't have it any other way. We should be all ready now. What could possibly go wrong this— Ha ha! What could possibly go wrong this time? Oh, honey. You got a big storm coming. Still, there's a strange, uneasy feeling I can't shake. I better be imagining it. Oh, honey. Got a big storm coming. Yes. Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours. She slept for 59 minutes exactly. Good morning, you two. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same. In other words, the recording's a fabrication. It's been identified as a fake! Yay! The lab is continuing the study of the tape. So far, they found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Oh. What? Who's there? Wait. Huh? Do you see who it was? No, I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping. I wonder if he saw our hand. I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and Boxco were listening in too. I'll make sure they don't make a run for it. That is my final gift to you. Oh, thank you! Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. Reach out to the truth! Time for a mini court of steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine! Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes and I'm fine! You guys should be nicer to your voices. But who am I kidding? I'm the one who should be nicer to their voice, because I am the one who's suffering. Having to read it all loud. All out loud. There we go. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. I mean, the defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution's ready as well. I mean, isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell? Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I've been running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody, understood? You're such a joker, Mr. Judge. You're such a joker. Your boldness. Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recounted their confessions. But later I'll grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge him with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now, about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling detective who overlooked that, he's paying for his failure as we speak. Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all his body parts intact. But if that's the case, then what will we? The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from art room to stage. And I mean to prove it here this day. Just like Detective Fulbright said, but what else does he have up his sleeve? A lot! My understanding of this heinous crime is this. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the bloodstain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say, the body was carried over to that very window. From there, it was dropped down to the maintenance area below, and though there was an area scratched to the body aside from the fatal wound, that, too, was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a bowl cut was used to haul the body over to the stage. That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way. Objection! Your propensity to spew forth words before you think is not very clever either. Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it's time for you to come forth. Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation? Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at the Ames Legal Academy and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told the lawyer there that I would testify to the truth. So, I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes. What's he up to now? The court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now, your testimony, please.
Okie dokie.
The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading towards me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client. Ugh, never snappy comeback when I need one. He's coming straight at us today using any means possible. To protect the students who had to climb up high when setting up the stage, a mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse. Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put the mat away after they use it? Objection. Oh, there's plenty wrong. There's but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body. Sucks being the last to know everything. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by the mat. If the only mat of that thickness was where the bodies assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to this case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm gonna turn your arrogant perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure. Okay, calm down. See. Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning. Why? I don't think you could see much of anything, considering what the stage was like, but sure. So you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area? Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here? Why, yes, in fact there were a bunch of those next to my house until a few days ago too. It was so noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, it piqued my interest. Aw, exactly, Iona. You cannot see past such screens. That is the purpose. Now, let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop. Oh, hi, but the screen would have been completely in the way. Yeah, no shit. That's right. Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point. So much for the truth. Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to this court? Screen. Right. It must have slipped my mind. What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have. And the genius level lapse of memory that people like me have. You just unironically used the word mouth breather. What is wrong with you? Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already? Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the lapses of memory? That's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen. You are testifying that our client was behind the stage. But need I remind this court the back of the stage is not visible from the front? To actually see your client behind the stage on the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor. What does he have in there anyway? I keep thinking, like, if he's doing some kind of sport, but like... On the other hand, I doubt that. What does he have in that bag? Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
Alright, guys, bye. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest. The truth? What truth? The fact that Golden Boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage.
Objection!
But then the screen would have blocked his view of...
Objection!
On the ground, yes, his view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think... something on the other side of the screen? Something high enough to see the stage. No, wait, there's a crane right here? I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial. Me neither, but it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's fine enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember, you promised. Haha. What promise? I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information. What's all this about a promise? Is this about whatever Blackwell is using against him? And what's it got to do with going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up in a crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds. What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane? The witness, I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane. Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt they would be limited to a single day. You're probably working at the same site the previous day too. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Yeah. Yep, as the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. Are you serious? This is ridiculous. Not really. How very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is as ridiculous as the witness maintains. The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light. That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that? The person in this photo has one really distinguishing feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify the person in this photo as a witness by examining his neck. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck. Why, yes, you can see it right there, but then, are you saying you mean to? Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy. You're a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off. Yeah, what's the big deal? Let's see your neck. Guess I have no choice. Oh my. So, where'd you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade and there's only one like it in the world. Oh, it sure looks like the neckband in the photo. Shall we have the photo analyzed? You are one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. Are you flexing? Is that a flex? But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school. But when you factor in all of the required tests and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane? Is he ever not? True, true. Oh, about that, you see, I'm a genius, so you know. Objection. That's not how that works. Let us dispense with this inane charade, Golden Boy. Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't. High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus, they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor? Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? Please, no, he's... Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school. Wait, come again? Take again at the official school enrollment documentation. It's all right there. 25? You mean he's older than me? A 25-year-old high school student. 7-year break, 7 years. Just one thing to say. Has it already been updated here in the record? Yes! Immediately. There are two kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breeders take. And the genius kind people like me take. Uh-huh. But genius would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Even genius make mistakes. I just happen to make mine only 7 years in a row. Only Hugh could get away with using only like that. Enough of this jibber jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further. Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as in the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does defense care to dissuade me? As long as a mat was used to move the body, June is going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? You don't think... Your Honor? Yes, Miss Sykes. I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. Little conjecture has never stopped us before. No, that's how you get through all of your trials. Interesting. Mr. Connor, you were using the crane to move the body. The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. Not simplistic, even foolish. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. You sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator, so he could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more in the matter. Save that this does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trial? Watch this. Oh, it's his bow that sits in there. Okay, yeah, true. He's in the archery club, my bad. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Ow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that's a catch-up sting. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I have already verified this with the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say. So, how did you hurt it? That's probably also why his hands were bleeding when Junie saw him.
Thank you for the non-entry. And the fact.
I see no need to discuss that. It has no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. You're always the fool, Athena. I planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. And I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for. Now that defense's sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim. The body was dropped out of a 3rd-floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See? I've been paying attention. That's so good for you, Judge. You should. Well done, your boldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat. Ergo, it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you're on the right track, Athena. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains a prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per script. So, as a defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But... oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane? Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, this court would love to hear it, and if you do not, it is time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, Your Boldness?
Objection!
No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right? Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case. There's a sort of great renown that cuts down sophistic lawyers. Its name is evident. You don't scare me. What's a smile, Athena? You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and creepy grin. Let's focus on how the body could have been moved without being dropped. Don't be rude, don't be rude. How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Wow, no way. I've been saying this. Someone could have easily used that thing. Yeah, half an hour of just going in circles for something that I said immediately. Of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us. All I have to do is show the tiny shred of a possibility. The mat and bulkhead weren't used to move the body. This is what was used. The key here is the thing that ties the art room and the stage together. Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together lest you further expose your ignorance. This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackwell. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run or reel in the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire.
Objection!
Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high wire act. The body surely would have fallen. Yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection!
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that? I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried? Well, go on. Please explain. The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat. I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying.
Objection!
I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as a corpse for forming that absurd high wire act. If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it. I trust to recall the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. Ergo, the wire and banner had not at all to do with the case. The bloodstained pottery. I remember that. This doesn't look good. Leave back to the math theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time than a circus act. If my wire theory is true, then the blood on the pottery must not have been the victim's blood. We know someone who hurt their hands. So thank you for the hydrate time. I didn't realize when you did that, like, a minute ago. I don't know. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. The police checked to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from. Shame on you, Sykes, Donald. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Well, did you? Fulbright. Looks like they didn't check it. Now, don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We will know either way till the we will know not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can. Your boldness. I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant. Of course. It shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. Absolutely, yes. Yes, please. Have a good night, get some rest. Get a good night, have some rest. What? My history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please let it be someone else's. Don't worry. It seems the blood was not from the victim. What? Furthermore, comparison with other parties involved with this case reveals... Restaurant, thank you. I'll try. But the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Dun dun! Score! Get a good night in place, you have to work for it. Me, I couldn't sleep tonight. So what I ended up doing was I kept reading, and then I was so tired finally. I was like, okay, wait, I'm too tired to continue reading, but I still couldn't fall asleep. I think I only finally slept towards like 6 in the morning. But on the other hand, I finished 1.5 light novels, so something good came of it, I guess. Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand had suffered a serious injury. He sustained a wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his bloodstained hands as they passed each other in the first floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There's but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. You grudge it with Sykes, don't know, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret. Fine, whatever. Ow, how much dirt does he have on Hugh? The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. It was inside this that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. Miss Scuttlebutt? But didn't the prosecution already claim that? This envelope is the one that contained her script? Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Let's see here. My word! Talk about the world's most painful paper cut. Indeed, you can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court. Oh, you wish you hadn't. Yikes. Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood and the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script, and paid for his foolishness. Ouch! This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't that deep. You've still got the why theory. Yeah, I've got it. Isn't the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's? There's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. You call yourself a lawyer? Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out. And you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? Whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down the wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away? Why, I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together. Ugh, but the body would have collided with the statues. What if they did collide? That's it. Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them... That would also explain that loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room. Now that you mention it. You and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Objection!
Interesting. Oh, very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard that sound? It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when... Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me in our case killed. The focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion therefore contradicts the very foundation of this case.
Objection!
Both sides select incontrovertible evidence. So should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion? Good point. Ugh. Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side. Yeah, I would be a little careful. Why he might be. I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the stitches really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor. Let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship of your body. Oh boy. Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or are you just lying about it? Well, which is it? Hey. You what? I never saw the body. Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury. Yes, if that ever happens. There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes, we've exposed you as big lie for what it is. But why would they lie about this to begin with? Order. The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know the body was moved using the wire and school banner. Indeed. That much I shall concede, Saxtono. But and then it turns out the third person is a duh. That would be so. You see, that would have fit during Theory and Cuthbert. That would have been so funny. It's like, oh, if your body wishes, or if your head wishes to continue. Being attached to your body, and it's a Dullahan just takes the head off. It's like, wow.
Good morning. Good morning. So how are you?
The body was moved as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied then. If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. Sleepy or big mood. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it's an entirely different story. Right, our 3 suspects were in a mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
Unfortunately for us, no. How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. Sis, who's this person in charge of the audio? Well, the defendant, obviously. Oh no. How could I forget? It was
Junie.
Because why ever the fuck would black hole be on our side? The one who could enter the yard room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused Juniper Woods, for she was in charge of the audio.
Dun dun dun.
Why yes, I see. That does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, but cooked. And he thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue. Twisted Samurai strikes again. Twisted? It's more like Dirty Rotten. Your boldness. It is time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes. Hello, what are we going to do? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente. I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too. For Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'd be... objection? Objection? Well, I object to... okay. Why? Stop right there. Criminal scum? Oh, yes, to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Listen, and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. Perfect crime? Don't break your bow now, my guy. Those things are expensive. Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes. Yes, we did. This had better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead. Arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Mr. O'Connor, you already confessed yesterday, then earlier today recanted your confession. As if you mouth-breathers could comprehend my genius, the end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect. You have snot dripping out of your nose, my guy.
Objection!
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all to see. But it's impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There's no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi for you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. He doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's that. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. If he wasn't so high up on his horse about it, it wouldn't even be that bad. Like, he's genuinely trying to help out, I guess, somewhat, but he's just so annoying about it. It's like, my dude, I know it's not you. I also know it's not Junie or Robin. I have a very good idea of exactly who it was that killed the professor. It's the only case in this game that you've played? Really? Hi, Tracy. What do you mean this is the only one you've played? How did you manage to get through the third trial if you haven't played the others? You won't believe this, but I used a body double. You're right, I'm not believing that. There wasn't a real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. Someone else is gonna... Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you remember who the killer is? I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. Okay. I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all? No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird, especially the whole thing about a body double. Well, I'm relieved that's not just me. And the prosecution? Your boldness. Summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark raving. Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict. You think you're... Actually, I think my English has improved greatly since I first played this game. But even so, sometimes I stumble upon words in this series where I'm just like, I have never heard this before in my life, what the hell? But do you know what I'm reading through right now, where every single time I'm just like, what are these words? I'm reading the Apothecary Diaries light novels right now because I'm trying to catch up, at least to the point where the anime got to with the second season. And I'm almost there. I'm in the middle of volume 4 right now. So I think it might be exactly to the end of volume 4, or maybe a little into volume 5, but so far they've always like ended properly with one volume and not carried over to another one. So I'm so glad I'm reading those digitally, where I can just highlight the word and I immediately have a dictionary selection and on how it's used and whatever, because whoever is translating the series, or maybe the original, is already written with really hard words. There's words in there I've never heard in my life. Like, words where it's like, okay, from context I can assume what they mean, but some of those I'm just like, never have I seen or read these words before in my life. And that is kind of scary, because technically I do have a C2 in English, and I would be qualified to be a live translator. I already forgot the word for that immediately. An interpreter. I am qualified to be an interpreter, but as you can hear right now, it's like no, I English and Spanish when you played the original trilogy. Yeah. That's crazy. No, the weirdest part is I heard people complain about the translation for the Apothecary Diaries light novels, and I thought, what? Is it like badly translated? And now I fear it's just people being like confused because it's written with a pretty hard language, like words you don't see, especially not in light novels, because light novels tend to be on the easier side. They're called light novels for a reason, right? Because I'm just sitting here like, yeah, it's a good thing I speak fluent English, because even with fluent English, I'm just like, what? We need to renormalize owning dictionaries. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I do have an old edition of a German English dictionary for this exact reason, that the teacher at the time was like, you need this one, and you need specifically this entry, because it was the best they had, for some reason. But the nice part about like just reading on, like, me specifically, I have a Kindle, is that it immediately, when you're connected, I think you need to be connected to the internet, maybe, I don't know, it immediately connects you to like actual trustworthy dictionaries, the Oxford Dictionary, for example, that kind of thing. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now I know what that word means. Thank you. And then continue reading. Just read the Spice and Wolf novel in English. I want to read those at some point. I wanted to read those for years, like ever since I saw the original anime, basically, and to this day I still haven't gotten around to it. The Apothecary Diaries light novels are so much fun to read. Like, I'm just kind of trudging through them. I have so many series started. I need to finish up with some of those finally before starting to eat more of them. You never heard before and just go, maybe I don't. Yes, exactly. That's me. That's me. Like, obviously, in your everyday life, and I do pride myself in knowing a relatively good amount of English. Like, I wouldn't be out here streaming in English specifically if I didn't trust myself in being fluent enough in it. But sometimes I stumble upon words I'm just like, who came up with this? And it turns out they stole it from another language, as usual. A percolate. No! Get that word out of my chat. I don't want to see it ever again. Let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict. People don't believe me. No, why should we? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want the genius back. Apollo! Shut your pie holes. The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. Besides, don't you guys have the weird device for testimony like this? Which is not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want the verdict to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session. Your better judgment? I'm a judge and it's far beyond mine, yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objection. Prosecutor Blackwell has gone for a smoking break. Prosecutor said, rubbish. We will be out on a stroll. Then left with Detective Fulbright. How does he get away with stuff like that? Then I'll interpret that as a meaning he has no explicit objections. Alright, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session. I also like that they made it so the bird, like, scratches itself like you would see a dog or sometimes a cat do. I don't know enough about birds to know if they do that, but it is funny to look at regardless. I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. No, I think we've seen crazier. I'm sorry, nothing is going to top crazy, because we're still just getting, like, everyone involved is still just human, you know? We haven't brought out the animals yet. Call me back when you get to the juicy stuff. Basically. Alright. Let's see what he has. Aside from a bunch of noise. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. There wasn't a real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose it. My body double did. I slipped out stealthily while my body double took care of the trial. I had to run off the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. Yeah, okay, there's just happiness. Everywhere. Let's get that out of there. Mr. Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. You don't remember any of this? Good. Me too. Me too. Like, everything we're doing, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that was there, but I don't remember anything about this case. I already told Juniper, so oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Court. A secret? Oh, the bribe. She wanted nothing to do with me because I disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only, the truth. I don't think so. Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might help set Miss Woods free. So much so that it overshadowed all of your other emotions. What are you? I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor. The discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when you confess. So Hugh really was trying to protect Juniper. Yes, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. Oh, but it only took out 10%. That's crazy. But that means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious, have we? Oh, that was a short straw. My Prosecutor Blackwell, you're back. The confession was not but lies, save for the part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Why couldn't you have taken a longer straw, for real though? No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet. You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double? Yes! Yes I do, but if you think I didn't, then prove it. He's lucky that the judge seems to be as indulgent for this case as he is, because we definitely had cases where we were not allowed to take like one singular breath too many. Because he's a genius. Either we quit here and Juniper's found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion. Let's go with the least worst choice, but first let me update his testimony. Alright. Used a body double. That wasn't a mere me. That means I didn't almost lose my body double tickets. I stood off stealthily while my body double took the trial. The campus. That's so interesting. Why is this one the only one where you're not happy? I didn't almost lose, you say? Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time, except during the statement. You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it. No, don't. Stop making stuff up. When I left the lecture hall, it was during Professor Mean's pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body. I then stepped back in just before the verdict. So you're saying you were at the moment your double was about to lose? Yes, I was, naturally. I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I was at the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came and went through the doors there. Doesn't make any sense, my guy.
Objection.
Sykes don't know. How much longer will you indulge him in this charade? Well, it's true that none in the audience might see him go through either of those doors. The faculty seats on the balconies are a different story and have a splendid view. I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when facing the front of the hall. I used the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to someone in the left balcony seat. But that seat was empty at the time, which is only natural. After all, it belonged to Professor Court, and as we all know, she was already dead by then. Yeah, no, except... That's not true. See, the problem is just, if he says it's empty, that's the one thing he's not lying about. So why would it be empty? Okay, let me do that one thing at a time. That can't be right. An empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence. I have no idea where this contradiction is going. I do. I don't have any other moves at this point. I guess I just have to follow it and see where this takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty. But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Means was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if you left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, he would have been standing there at his seat addressing the students and faculty. Now, this can't be right. You do no one any favors by exposing the falsities of his confession. I've told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me. It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's have you testify again, but this time, don't spare any details. You got it. I'll repeat it as many times as you like. I mean, my ingenious escape act warrants repeating, considering I'm the real killer. You're not. Please, let's just get your professor up here. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not. Okay. Let's see. The second floor was deserted. Why won't you believe me? It's true, I tell you. I went out through the back door without anyone noticing. Then all I had to do was go through the empty audio control room. It leads into the hallway, so I was perfectly capable of moving the body. And it made me find it slightly uncomfortable seeing someone play around. Really? It's not. It's not at all uncomfortable. It's like if it's a properly healed one, you're perfectly fine to just play around with it. Yeah, you should. It's fun. Fun. I like having my ears pierced. I detected powerful sadness and fear right after you said this part. It's as if you'd said something you shouldn't have. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see. Mr. O'Connor, it's you who is revealing your inner emotions by the way you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. You're a horrible person. Can you just leave me be? No. You said that you went through the empty audio control room, but that's not true, is it? Control is stuck. It's not burning. Also, it's just one stab really quickly. The worst part about afterwards is just like having it heal and cleaning it, especially keeping it clean during the part where it's healing. But afterwards, it's nice because you can put in any kind of earring you like. There was someone who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech. And that's someone who was in the audio control room. But I know you realized there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy. If the audio control room really was empty, that would mean Miss Woods was roaming around the campus. Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. If you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her. Juniper's innocent, that's the truth. But in this dark age of the law, truth can be easily twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the end justifies the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies. His heart won't hold out in this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make him recant his false testimony? I fear nothing now that I have lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell. Cut me down if you wish. I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed to a verdict. No. Oh my god. They cannot make these things strong enough, can they? He broke out of his shackles again. I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. Shiro O'Connor, in deference to your valor, I will limit your suffering with one clean blow. Nah. Could you wait just one moment before you cut him down?
Silence.
Consider getting stronger shackles. They did that twice already. I never learned about this in law school. Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time? Very well, Golden Boy. Golden Boy may live. For now. Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Watts would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything. That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. Well, what does it matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is, no doubt, news to you. But I'm not and never was a genius. Yeah, no shit. Sorry, but I already knew. Me too. And don't forget me. Though in all fairness, it was pretty obvious. I thought he was a genius at first, but the stuff he said was crazy. No need to rub it in, just shut up and listen. It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents have been paying good money for my grades. But that's bribery. So the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea. All of my perfect scores were the product of cold hard cash, not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone. Juniper overheard you. Yeah, Juniper overheard you. Oh my, what a terrible misunderstanding. I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there's to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. How much money do your parents have? Perfect zero. Oh. Ew. Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by pinning the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now, so it'd be a relief for her to see me locked away. If you were trying to help her, then why did you testify against her? You were the ones who told me to tell the truth yesterday. So I thought, if I did, it would help her. I wasn't trying to provoke us. It looks like we seriously misunderstood him, in more ways than one. Well, he does have a horrible personality to go with it, though. At the detention center yesterday, Junie was in tears when she opened up to me. But the truth is, the friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there were something that could help me prove that to Hugh... I know. What about the proof of friendship they mentioned? I wonder where or what it is. I didn't buy it. What? Who didn't buy what? Oh. It's handmade and there's only one like it in the world. No, you did not! Nice! Good job! How is it? Have you started it already, or are you going to start it? Good for you! No, it's definitely it. The band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor, the band around your neck. Well, that's your proof of friendship, isn't it? Cheesecake place. Ooh, nice. You'd work right now. I see. Oh, nice. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's good. Cheesecake place. Proof of friendship. Is that anything like a proof of purchase barcode? In court, evidence is everything. That's why the three friends created friendship bands. It's the evidence that proves their friendship. Oh, very interesting. And chick. If they had doubts about their friendship, they can look to the proof they have on hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he is pressured. It proves he still has feelings of friendship towards the other two. It doesn't matter if I'm worried if those two. But they feel the same way too. I know they wear the friendship band somewhere. Junior and Robin must both feel the same as you. I just know it. Everything you have said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may have also just told me that the others were their proof of friendship. Were they easy to touch? Share friends when I'm invitations to doing it on your amplifier is always fully healed. Nice. Well, it's not nice that you messed it up, but it's good that it's healing. All we have to do is think back to the testimonies. Ready? As no one holds her arm when pressured. And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad. What are you, a pirate? Oh, an animated cutscene.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made, just for the three of us. You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Hugh! Hey, Hugh!
Are you guys just allowed to just be down there?
And to think, I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
He sounds so young. Okay. I didn't kill anyone. And I didn't have a body double. Yeah, no shit. Ooh, 11-hour shift sounds rough. But I'm glad that the extra pay makes up for it. I guess. I didn't move the body, I didn't even see it, and it may look like I'm speed reading. Zen and the art of mastering the bar exam, but I haven't read a single word. Well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you did. Cute. So, Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you? I'm going to save Junie. So yes, you can place your trust in me. See, all of this, only for us to go, wait, actually, who is the actual murderer then? Murderer. Then, am I to understand that the witness is recanting his confession? Again. Yes. Murderer. It's so funny because in German, a murderer is just a murder. It's written almost the same way, just with an umlaut. So I always had trouble when I started learning English. I always had trouble because I was like murderer, the murderer. The murder? A most roundabout trial. I much prefer the turnabout variety myself. Now we're back to the fact that there was but one suspect who lacked an alibi. Which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking this entire time. No, because we found out one more thing. We're back to square one. Now I'm exhausted and depressed. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the mood matrix. Huh? Does this mean? Yes, it's Athena. Further resistance is futile. The time for avert goes now. Please wait. What sort of devilry are you up to now? No, he did not have a body double. What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial will continue, right? Well, yes, I suppose it would. But after such a thorough investigation, does such a person really exist? Of course they do. Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout, but Mr. O'Connor's testimony has cracked this case. There's no more noise, he was telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite him really was empty, which now means there's one person unaccounted for. That took a long time. Besides Journey, the only other person without an alibi during the mock trial is a very trustworthy professor. The balcony seat was empty. That much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right. How many more times do I have to say? So, basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence.
Yeah! Need I remind you, every last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech. I know, and that's not in dispute here. Now, let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was pre-recorded. What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from an empty balcony seat. Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane. I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. By any means necessary looking ass. Yeah. The end justifies the means. Looking ass. Definitely not our killer looking ass. Take this to the police, he said, and tell them you found it. What? Really? Wait a second. Mr. O'Connor, did you just say that Professor Means gave the phony recording to you? Phony? The defense will refrain from hurling unsubstantiated allegations. Oh, it is substantiated. Well, I said he gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony? Wow. Who could have seen this development? Identified as a fake, Professor Means used you to pass it on to the police. The voice shouting "You're gonna" as recorded on this tape was dubbed onto it using a line our client said in the mock trial video. Right, this is an extremely crucial piece of evidence. Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. Congratulations! Oh! That's really true, and Professor Means has guilt written all over him. Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence.
The seat was never empty. It was but an oversight by a dullard of a witness. An inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often all too easy to overlook critical symptoms. Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis for suspecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable. It was a really funny bit. Also really cool. I love me some good Jack Frost funsies. To see new quotes, it really is. Oh, maybe the quote bot is going to hone in on something else now that they're all freshly put into it. I hope not. I hope it's going to give us a bigger mix of quotes. Because I don't know why. It seemed to always give us the same view. That's enough, both of you. Now here's my opinion on the matter. While a surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness's oversight too must not be overlooked. Thus, as to the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself. I mean, that's what they're there for, because out of context, they're so much more fun. I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today. Do as you please. I will, thank you. The pronoun Katsuo and Jack Frost said he/ho. They probably played it for the bit, but honestly, Jack Frost using new pronouns. That's a good bit. Also, definitely, Jack. Jack is definitely a name for someone who would be using neopronouns and took their gender for a spin. Yeah. Will you please state your name and occupation for the record? Certainly, I'm Aristotle Means. No! I teach the lawyer course at Themis Legal Academy, and let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion. Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at that speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation in this? Very well, if that's all you're interested in. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. We need to find some sort of evidence that shows his speech was pre-recorded. Alright, I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. That's a problem. This is mostly a problem with how I talk. I realized this. Yesterday? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday I tried recording a video and like while I'm recording it all went fine, but I tried to sit down to edit it and 5 minutes in I was already like not happy with myself because I realized how I actually talk, how many pauses I do make, or how many times I will say the same thing, just slightly different to get to a point, and except I never get to the point. And that is the same thing that happened with that quote. But it's still funny, obviously, out of context, but I'm just like, man, I wish I made my sentences go together better. I'd like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for the day to come, blah 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 blah. Oh no, I'd forgotten how long and boring his speech was. Wake me up once this is over. Ain't no fair. Experiences of our youth have a powerful and profound effect on our adult. Blah 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 blah. Really, wake up! Pay attention! Huh? Hey! I'm awake. Isn't that right, Johanna? Huh? What? I'm awake too. Wait, awake too. Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today. Pure white? Pay attention and you make a difference one day. Now, let the mock trial begin. Pure white? That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes. He's obviously not familiar with the praise brought to tears. Listen, Sykes, Dono. If you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it. Oh my god. You were asleep the whole time. Well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about that speech? Yes. Could I please hear the last part again?
Hold it!
There. I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have only one question about your speech. Why does the last part we just heard contradict with this? The professor said the pure white lady justice would be watching over them. But the lady justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be. I'm not sure I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity. I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. Now, it's true that the statue is pure white, but it broke before the mock trial began. The one you see here is its replacement. Oh, well, that's a shame on every count. Ironically, this golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one, meaning the professor wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present. It seems that I've caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
Objection!
Like, he himself looks like a statue. Like, looking at his skin and everything, so like... The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like? Well, I was in a balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded. We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall. No, wait. There's got to be something that can prove that the speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video, the speech started here and ended here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. What else do we have that was a little over 10 minutes? It's only a little over 10 minutes. It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy. There's a timestamp in the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended. Speech goes from the 10-minute mark to 20:35.
Wait a second.
I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech time to show that it was pre-recorded. Yeah, gee, I wonder what that was. I would like the court to take a look at this. And this is... The voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client. Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication? Well, not in that sense. We did, but what I'd like to focus on is the noise that is also there. Noise? Noise? Yes, the defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. And what do you hope to prove by that? The length of the noise is what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Means began his speech? That would be exactly 10. Now let's fast forward this long-winded exercise and boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads 20:35. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone. Right, subtract 10 minutes and you get 10:35. 10 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah.
Right, 10 minutes and 35 seconds. The same as the noise in a tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means? Professor Main's pre-recorded speech had been where the noise is now.
Silence.
You seem rather confident considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers.
Objection!
But is it really just numbers? The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording, by pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not gonna get away with it. Not on my watch. Miss Sachs. I believe you're well aware. I believe you're well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my word. And to that purpose I offered to be her lawyer. Alas, look what's happened. All I've cited are obvious deductions derived from the evidence and testimony. Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I've been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. A 10-minute long grocery. But now that you cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth. You're the third person saying they're going to reveal the truth. Something tells me that you are going to be lying through your teeth. Uh-oh. This doesn't sound good. I will now reveal the truth behind why I had to pre-record my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean and mean what I say by all means. Do you? Professor Means' testimony. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's a humane thing to do. Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you? This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true. On this most consequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. No, but I thought you were Aristotle. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means. I don't believe you. When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent. But her friends? The witnesses? Correct, Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was to ensure all three walked free. All three were to achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end. You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics. Yes, well, that is why I vowed to vigorously defend her despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now, in the defense of justice, order, and all that is good, the end justifies the means. I'm so sick of hearing that phrase. Same. Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if it's victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality. Like, how is he allowed to just say stuff like this? In a court of law. That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. This is already surrendered to the dark age of the law. It's up to me to fight it.
Yeah, let's go, Tina.
Why is the silence like Stono? Something the matter? This is a court of law. It's no place for long winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking. Just to be saying wild stuff, they do be saying wild stuff. Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify the situation. No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is. All right. That is a very good question.
Objection!
So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods. That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. It's an outrage. Miss Sykes will clarify your statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They said the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself with while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Get him! Is he wearing Crocs? Why, you little... You dare call my teachings and methods lies? Yes. I'm gonna call them even worse, don't worry. Demons Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. You never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you. Huh? Professor Means, what's with your hair? Quiet! No talking in class! What the hell? Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homework is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes. Here? Apollo Justice. I'm fine. I mean here. Full. Proper responses here, without any extraneous information. I mean here. Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class, that's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said Simon Blackwell. Are you here or not? There's always one, isn't there? Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now, get out of my class this instant. Get out! Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. This is so funny to me. This is so funny to me because he's not even that old. He's only 28. When I played this, when I played this as a teenager, I always thought all of these people involved were so old, but he's only 28. It's so crazy. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. Of course you were. Was that really so shocking? Constabulary lab Dr. Teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. What the, think you're so old now? Yeah! For real. For real. Alright, class is now in session. Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomach ache? Main point, Juniper is the killer, I'm innocent. Pay attention, I am not the killer, Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created a phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. Please note, I was not at school. Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. It's okay. Pay attention, the murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this? What the fuck are you saying? Is this not you? Is this not you? Or do you have a body double as well?
Objection!
Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time? Can you prove that I was still at school? Yes, of course I can. do you mean? Athena! Ah! So you admitted. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you've also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate. Ew. I do enough of that at the office. No way, man. I totally object. Robin. I can't believe I fell for the Professor Silver-tongued lies. Why you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. No, I have a confession to make. You know those 2 statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. Statues on stage? Do you want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right, and it would have been way past 7 PM before he could have finished. Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony. Professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin. Quick, somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight. Simon, you head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course. Only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Where's a school nurse when you need one? It would seem Sykes-Donor seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case, you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. I said no pets allowed. Very well, then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in school. Second period. Prepared to be served old school style. Oh my, I need this man gone, please. What does that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30. The defendant, Juniper, started 2 statues with her own eyes at 8:30. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now. I want to get something. Oh, true. She did say that. Yeah, but they were covered with a sheet. Oh, right. The professor was there when the matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So, personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. Didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Sure. I mean, it's very obvious that it was him. We just need to grab him. Can you imagine? Yeah, right? Why were you in such a hurry? In the league world, your body's your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I go to bed at 9 PM each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bad time. You grab him by the collar. Shakes him violently. Well, whether you can see that I never left the stage. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Yeah, sure. I tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede. I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. That's right, but what took you so long? I was at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not gonna give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest. Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Lena, you thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these when it seems like there's no way out that you have to... Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. Why the hell? Who brought the bird to school? Sykes, don't know. If I hear one word of your usual jibber jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. That's it! Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the crime scene. You would have liked the bird at school. If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer. Ridiculous. The defense has become utterly incoherent. No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sykes, don't. Okay, the murder was actually committed here. Stage. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. Silly girl. When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage, really. But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now blood-stained. It's true, there were no bloodstains on the stage floor. But there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain. And that would be this, the school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were under the victim when she was killed. Oh man, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire. Makes more sense than not. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get it. This man is already a prosecutor.
Objection!
You eated it. No, actually, they burned it. Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well. You do? If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood. The Gavinus banner. Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner. It's a Gavinus banner that had been specially made for the school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. Would have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it. Grass could not be trusted next to a school. Sarabana absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it. The Gavinus banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality. Why is that the thing you're focusing on, Apollo? Simon, don't just stand there, do something.
Silence.
Silence.
Thank you for that good time.
The posture check and pad. Sucks, don't know. You're learning to wield the blade quite well. Quite well. How will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stages you claim?
Objection!
The bloodstain in the art room was faked. Oh, I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room.
Take that!
Do you think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to the court? It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. What I find so interesting is that all of these schools seem to have incinerators you can pretty easily have access to. Like, the only time I've seen an incinerator like this is at specific places. Like trash burning places where you actually do need an appointment to bring your trash there. So, the killer used a wire to bring the blood-soaked Gavinus banner to the art room. Then, the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense. This is quite a development. You think the body was never actually moved? Hold it right there, the body must have been moved. Now it's to explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial. If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it? I hadn't thought of that. If the loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? Well, Athena, the knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. You put it together yourself. Then stop some kids from burning trash inside a gas tank container. Oh, that's crazy. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. No, I don't think our school had anything like that.
Take that!
At least I wasn't involved with it. Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Perhaps you're onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming. You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If you consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to point us to the body. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. I wish I was always like this. You should never underestimate me, Athena 6. Person means always means what he says and says what he means by all means. Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Counter students passed the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? That can't be explained by, Come on, Athena, it's easy. If the victim was murdered on a stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is as close to being beaten to a pulp. I know, but we've come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. Killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be. Just wait a minute. It's right there, Athena. Think about what Juniper said again. How they were covered. Poor Juniper, she must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. Could be a step dancer without actually dancing. True, true. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. But the end justifies the means is an amazing... Amazing what? Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Athena Sykes' attorney's badge is just for show. Oh. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. Of legal... wisdom, maybe. Of legal wisdom. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. I do. Just give me a chance to think about it. And present it. Don't tell me I failed once again. No, don't worry, Athena. Got to say someone near and dear to me. It's okay. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer, and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Athena, what's wrong? Athena's backstory trial is gonna be really good, though. Relax, Athena, breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you like I said I would. It's okay, you can do it. To the man's inconvenience. Me too. Me too. You leave Athena alone, man. She's the one who saved me. It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against you. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I shouldn't really be thanking you. You use legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important. But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Dina. Hi, TK. Good evening. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Aww. Junie. I know you better than most people, Dina. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie. But I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Stop your bleeding this instant. You're looking at the fool. Secutor Blackwell. There's one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you've studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you've worked for this far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. You know who? No, we don't actually know who. We're not that far into the story yet. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. He was a look and weapon to become a really nice prosecutor, but he's studying to become a lawyer. Unless he gets stuck in an elevator with his dad and some other guy and sees his dad get killed in front of his eyes, I don't think he's gonna switch over to being a prosecutor. Like, I wouldn't wish it upon him, at least. The bright, cheery, dark edge of the law, where the end justifies the means. Okay. You're helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the ends justify the means.
Oh my gosh, yes.
To be fair, it's a pretty specific one. Don't worry, Athena, you're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said. Worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. What I meant to bring. Don't have to worry about me now. Worst of times are when lies have to force their biggest smiles. Look, I can cry when it's all over. Yeah, then you can cry tears of joy. You know, psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. And ignore the fact that I could not say this sentence like 3 times in a row. Let's get it. Professor Court wasn't killed in the atrium. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Let's see, what was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place is during the mock trial. Lawyer may cry later. Featuring Dante? It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before, specifically the white statue. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down to the stage with a crash, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide a body on the stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. That was something that should have been finished but was only mostly done. Something was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside. What was already on the stage and capable of concealing the body? The right statue. On the right side. I know, the Mr. Right statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped in a simple cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue.
Get him, Athena!
Miss Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was. Yeah, except he never did. No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. This because it was only a facade to hide his real work, the murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Right. But the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? I second that. What? Now this is getting interesting. Nobody may speak but me. Now, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible? We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm going to pose like the statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that I look like a statue. A lawyer may cry, and a psychologist lawyer may cry later or tomorrow. Where does like the title of Devil May Cry actually come from? Like, I know very little about these games, but they don't actually cry, right? Do they ever cry? Why are these games called Devil May Cry? No idea. Then you've done to store and it's explained in it. It is Would you be willing to share why it is called that, or is that like big spoiler? Is it like very deep? Also, what do you mean done to store? What? I know nothing about Devil May Cry. I really don't. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue of Mr. Right, or what? Looks like some random person to me. One of the statues is a pair of busts. Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair, the statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. Gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. That's it, dance! Arms are raised over her head and there are dark bruises on— yes. Yes. The marks on her wrist indicate she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No! Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together and I can't help but think that's related. I should arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied. Behind your head. Put both of my hands behind my head. It's so funny. Because I was about to say this is the reason why they gave us 3D models, because then they could do stupid stuff like this. Only for her, when she's covered in cloth, you don't see much of it. But now it's like, oh yeah, sure, we can move our 3D model like this. See, this makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. White's head. Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the projection pose like this. I can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. Characters should that it's okay to accept his emotions as humans. Devil's make. Interesting. I mean, it sounds about right. What kind of shop does he have, though? What the two victims' body have that I don't? Yeah, right? Oh, right. There was an arrow sticking out of her sight. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my sight. What, are you crazy? Never gets me clients. Oh boy. Fine, I'll some duct tape. Rapido. Right. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. That's a long arrow. Fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with that claw. Remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? Girl, at this point you could have also just drawn it. I think that would have been easier. The arm's too short. Shh, remember your indoor voice, dear. Am I spying it? The arrow is nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use for the arm? Still won't give up, eh? And I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Well, she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation, and one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again and the penalty will be doubly painful. X. I guess I better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Court was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, she must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me the stage setup photos again. Like that? Right now? Okay, hold on. Please, in this photo. It just has to be. The arm on the Mr. Right statue is really this right here. Oh my god, wait. How am I gonna... I hate when you use the controller for this kind of thing. Yeah, I know what you used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Right. This is absurd. There's no such thing in this photo. Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the stuff you have right there. Stuff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior. Whatever, just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up. Aww. Interesting. I wonder how long they had planned that out for, though, if it only comes up in the 3rd game. It's Phoenix Wright! Look, it's a famous lawyer! That's definitely him. I know the pose anyway. Did it? Anyway. Did you? Well, I'm not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright. I don't know, Athena. The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light. Golden light? What I see before me is a pink spectre of a man. Not just because Mr. Wright likes a statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink. That joke deserves a pink slip. It seems the gallery's quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness. Everyone fails except me. The resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence. Not so fast, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. First game was never planned to have sequels, and there's a prequel, so just kind of... Oh, there's a prequel! Maybe they just thought it sounded fun initially, and then someone came up with a backstory to it. If they made a prequel, then. Proof that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is test it for blood. We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from this spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it. Yeah. Yeah, on a brief recess, if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it? No, what if you stay right where you are? What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you. Planning a sequel in the first game or as a redesign for Resident Evil would be crazy. What the hell is the backstory for Devil May Cry? The fuck?
Objection!
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Boo. Getting out of his guilty verdict. Oh. That's what he's trying to do. Prosecutor Beckwell, what has become of a witness Aristotle means? It is as Sykestone suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great! You teach violence at the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? Jumped right for a phone to the ways of drastically different and then it just went all in on it's a new IP. I feel like you can tell that that was a long time ago because wow, they just went fuck it and went for a new IP. They don't really do that nowadays anymore, do they? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. Turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing, right there on that stage. The result, the heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. 2001, yeah. Because that is a while ago. But a scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's planner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed, once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting's being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Note that Constance Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. You'd think a professor would murder a colleague then try to pin it on a student. Existing if he's getting shoved into an ongoing project now. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods. Hot.
Milky.
Good for her.
Yay! Yippee!
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. Stop overfarming, this is serious. Blackwell, I'm watching your stream right now. Stop trying to love, this is serious. That's the last thing I expected to hear from him today. Court is adjourned.
Yay!
What? I have not stolen anything. It was given to me freely.
Thank you, Thena. I really mean it.
It was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster.
I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Athena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down in peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person.
Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me. But I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench.
I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something?
No, it's okay, I think. What's the big news?
School festival. It was supposed to have been cancelled after what happened, but...
We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constance Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow.
Really?
Alright. Time to eat our fill.
Nom 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 nom. Oh.
Well, at least...
a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy.
At least Captain remembers.
Achtung, baby. It's time for the guitar serenade.
Hopefully it's not going to end up with the guitar in flames.
This time.
At least Capcom remembers that Clavia actually has darker skin. For this cutscene. That's crazy. Has anyone else seen the new stuff they have where they have stuff for Godot, and Godot is just the same pasty white as everyone else? I'll repeat the scene a couple times. That was so much fun.
School festivals are amazing.
I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away.
Your singing voice, Juniper. It could melt my heart.
Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there.
I did, didn't I? I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena.
And you know what? I think I stick with becoming a prosecutor after all.
I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court.
You forget that Yuri Lowenthal voiced Clavia in this game. Yeah. Sometimes you go years without stumbling upon Yuri Lowenthal if you don't play games with English voice acting, but then you do play the one game with some English voices, and suddenly there he is. That's me. The Robin's boy. No, the bit is that Robin was forced by her parents to pretend to be a boy. But I like your idea better. I'm not a fan of how it was handled. If you look at the original 3DS script of how people react to the whole gender reveal in as well, it's even worse. Like, they already improved the script, but it's still bad.
Mock trial loss? What loss? Wait, did they reprise the trial and you won?
Yeah. Say no to force mask. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you. I mean, he is one of those very prolific English voice actors, so it makes sense he would be everywhere.
Huh? Oh, is he going to do what I think he is?
Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been.
Huh? Best friends? Q, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial?
No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius, and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already talked it out of me during the trial. Oops.
Listen, Hugh, you too, Robin. Miriam?
Miriam? Oh, Miriam.
Me too? Yuno's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. Which is surprising since she's in a box the entire time. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think, personally, how I like seeing it is that Robin is just gender fluid. But sadly, I'm not a Capcom writer in 2013 who wrote this. It's a subtitle of the Metal Gear Solid games. I was assuming Miriam is a walking Metal Gear Solid reference with the box and everything. Yeah. I mean, I've never played Metal Gear, but even I could tell. It's also... well, she has a snake thing going. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet. What about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. She's 18, why shouldn't she say BFF? Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, not talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe him in one word. And so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Dun dun dun. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. My face. No. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo, why? Why would you leave us all behind? Well, that's for the next episode. Discord. I'm howling at the moon. Thank you for the fat. Alright. Getting there. Getting there. We're halfway done, technically. Halfway done. Thank you for a nice room. No, thank you for coming by. Oh my goodness. I can never tell how long the cases actually take. I love reading except when I don't. Just 3 more cases left. Yes, technically. Technically. I don't remember much of the last one. I don't know. If you can see it, it's special. It's a special case because this one actually takes place like timeline-wise, it doesn't actually take place after this last one, but somewhere in the middle of all of these. So technically we could play it beforehand, but since it came out as a DLC originally, we're not going to do that. We're just going to play them in order. This one's going to be next. This one's going to be next. Sometime next week, I think. That's the plan, because on the weekend we're gonna play more Atelier Sophie, and then next week we're gonna try and fit in more Ace Attorney. But also, I don't have the link on me right now. I should make some more a proper announcement for that one. Next week, the romance visual novel festival that Studio Lan has put up is going to go live, and I'm also going to be playing a bunch of games for that, so I'm hoping to put as many of them in next week as well. So I don't know how far we're gonna get with our like main games right now, but I'll
figure out a proper schedule for that when we get to it next week. For now, thank you all so much for coming. Yes, all of these cases are out of order. It's an interesting way that they went about it, where they were like, oh, we're just gonna do them like that. Hee hee ho ho. But it is what it is. For now, thank you guys so much for coming. Bye. I'm gonna send you guys over to Sophia, who's playing off. Who's speeding off. Oh, no, I don't know how, how far. How far she is. But yeah, have a good night, everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming. Bye. I'll see you all soon. Night. And bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.